Module 1, Lesson 23, Hard Light, High Contrast. In the next few lessons, we're going to look at the different types of light, and we'll start with hard light. Hard light is easy to recognize by looking at the shadows. They are strong with well-defined edges. This type of light is produced by a light source which is small in relation to the subject. The sun is the most common hard light source you will make use of. Even though it's huge, it's small in relation to whatever your subject is. Flash units and strobes with no modifiers also produce hard light. The further the light source is from your subject, the harder the light becomes. Hard light creates greater contrast between the brightest and darkest areas of your composition. You must be most careful setting your metering mode and exposure when photographing in hard light. As you learned in Lesson 21, your eyes will perceive the contrast differently than your camera will record it. Hard light produces a different mood in photos because certain parts of your composition will be hidden in shadow and the well-lit areas will be very bright. It can be difficult to work with because highlights can end up being too bright and containing no detail. Sometimes this is not important to your photo, but when it is, you must be careful with your exposure and make sure you manage it well. In Lesson 26, I'll teach you about two tools your camera has which will help you see if your highlights are too bright. When hitting a textured surface at an angle, hard light will accentuate the textures and details in an object. It's not the most flattering light when you're photographing a person, as it tends to accentuate wrinkles and skin blemishes. Module 1, Photography Course Challenge number 23. The aim of this challenge is to begin to understand the characteristics of hard light and how it affects your photographs. Find something to photograph that's portable. You'll take photos of the same subject tomorrow but in different lighting. Take your subject to a sunny place. Position it so you can see a significant amount of shadow in your frame. Make a series of photographs while experimenting some more with what you learned about in the previous lessons. Practice with the various exposure and metering modes. As you take your photos for this challenge, use your viewfinder for some and your monitor to compose others, as you learned about back in Lesson 10. In this bright, high contrast light, do you find that it can be difficult to see your monitor? Take good notes so you can remember what settings you are using and why you chose them. Key points from this lesson are: hard light causes strong shadows with well-defined edges. Hard light creates greater contrast between the brightest and darker areas of your composition. Hard light produces a different mood in photographs than soft light.